Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Sugars. My name is Nomzamo Shangase and this is my YouTube channel where I speak about all things books, DIY and lifestyle. If that is a kind of jam or one of the things that I've mentioned is your thing, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell to get notified every single time your homegirl post a video. Today I am back with a book tag, and who is she if she doesn't do book tags anymore? So this is the best of 3 book tags. This is kind of like my top 3 of things in terms of books. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So first and foremost, obviously it's gonna be my top 3 favorite books. This is so difficult because I've read some really amazing books this year. These three. First one we have is Mr. Loverman by Bernadine Evaristo. I feel like I've talked about this book a lot. We follow Barry and Camille. They are in the midst of their marriage being like really broken, and they kind of like having these inner conflicts of deciding whether they should stay in the marriage or like, you know, move on. And Barry has a secret that he hasn't shared with a lot of people in his life. It was an overall amazing read. I absolutely love this book, and I think the reason why I love this book is because everyone is right but also everyone is wrong at the same time. Like, you can't say, oh, this one deserved better, this one doesn't deserve better. Like, everyone just has flaws, and I love it when books are so real in that way. I love an imperfect book for me because it just makes it more real and you love the characters more. I absolutely love this book and I would recommend it till I die. Okay, we have is The Death of Vivek by Akwaeke Emezi. Let me tell you, I read this book I think in a space of like 24 hours because I was literally just consuming this book. It was so amazing. The writing, guys, the poetic, the characters, you felt every single emotion that was explained here, and you saw every single scene in such a vivid way. Like, you could have felt like it happened to you. This is definitely my favorite book of all freaking time and one of my best books of 2022. What Emezi did here was so beautiful and so rare because I don't think a lot of people write characters like how Akwaeke Emezi writes their characters. And we follow Vivek, this boy who is conflicted and is just in a journey of finding himself, and it begins with his ending, and we are taken aback and we get to see his life through the people that surrounded him. Guys, everything about this book was just perfection. I urge you to run to your bookstores to read this book. It was beautiful, amazing, just magnifique. Like, I don't think there are words that perfectly describe this book. You should definitely get it, and it deserves to be on my top 3. My last one is Daisy Jones and the Six by Jenkins Reid. Not only did my favorite person actually buy me this book, it became one of my favorite books of 2022. This book, we follow Daisy Jones, this artist who is very talented, who is a songwriter, a singer, and we follow this group called The Six, this rock band. We get to see how these two beings basically became one and created like such beautiful body of work. They become like this band that became very popular in the 70s, and we get to see how they are in the duration of them making an album and how they are individually, like in their own personal lives. As it opens up, it tells us that the group broke up, but no one really knows why they broke up, and we finally get to see why. I absolutely love this book. I feel like I devoured this book. Like, I cried. I loved it so much. Daisy and Billy will forever be in my heart because I absolutely love this book. It was everything. And guys, I know the songs and how the songs came about. One of my favorite books of this year. Second prompt is my top 3 authors for this year, and I feel like with this one I just said black, okay? First favorite author for this year who has just kind of like shaken my world, kind of broaden my imagination, was definitely Akwaeke Emezi. Like, I've done a couple of reading vlogs where I read some of their books, and I've talked about them for like so much. Like, I've talked about them so much, and they have such a collection, like such a great broad range of books. Like, I feel like there hasn't been a genre that they haven't touched on. I haven't read all of their books, but I feel like I've read my fair share. My number 2 is Tia Williams. I cannot wait to read more of this woman's stuff. I cannot wait for the movie that's going to be coming based on the book that she wrote. I just cannot wait for the things that she's going to give us. She writes black romance in such a beautiful way that you feel, you know, represented in a way. Like, so in awe. She once did an interview where she was just like, in all of her books, it's just big love and big sex. And I feel like that's what she does. And I've only read one book. I am looking forward to actually reading The Perfect Find because I would want to read it before I actually watch the movie. Last but definitely not least is Bobolola. I read one book by Bobolola, and there is a book that is actually awaiting for me to read, and that is Love in Color. I definitely love her writing, and I feel like, you know, like, she knows how to write romance. I'm looking forward to the things that she is going to be writing. My bonus, Kennedy Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have to say. Prompt number 3 is my top 3 series. I haven't read a lot of series this year. If I have, then they didn't hit that much. I only have 2 favorite series. Is that even such a thing? Seriously? I have 2 favorite series. First one is the Hoops series by Kennedy Ryan, but I only read 2 books. I didn't read Blockshot. I read Long Shot and I read Hookshot. Loved them so much. I love this series. I think it's so beautiful, and so I feel like, you know, Kennedy Ryan has shown black love in such a beautiful way, in such a beautiful light, that you just can't help but be so invested. My second one is the Off-Campus series. This was inspired because I saw a lot of TikTok people kind of like, oh, the Off-Campus series this, the Off-Campus series that. I read the first 3. I read The Deal, The Mistake, and The Score, but I've only read those 3 and I absolutely love them. They're very cute, very spicy also. I like The Score more than I liked the other ones. Those are the series that I really enjoyed. So prompt number 4 is my top 3 boyfriends. Okay, let me rephrase. My top 3 book boyfriends. Okay, gotta get it correct, otherwise. Anyways, I love these men. I love them all equally. I've had a few book boyfriends, but you know, these ones, they have my heart. First one is we have Keenan Ross from Hookshot. He's black, he's tall, he is a single dad, he is a basketball player. To say he's a little grumpy, he loves jazz, and he just worships the woman that he loves. And what more would I want? My second one is Cannon Holt from Real by Kennedy Ryan. I absolutely love this man. You know, the way that he was described, he was a director who is like very much invested in the art that he creates, and I think, you know, him being such an artistic type of person really drew me into him. He's kind of like introverted a little bit, but once you get to know him, he's very like bubbly and he speaks. I absolutely loved him. I thought he was cute. Yeah. Last but definitely not least is Brandon from It Happened One Summer. There's something about a guy being in a small town and being grumpy. Something about like a really humble type of guy that just really gets me. Like, I just absolutely loved Brandon. All about his town, all about, you know, the community, and there's just something sexy about a man who's like that. Prompt number 5 is my top 3 ships, which is my top 3 favorite relationships. First, we have Nora and Charlie from Book Lovers. Besides the fact that these two are kind of like in a book related world, I thought they were such great characters and they have such a great relationship because they don't try to change each other. Like, they don't try to minimize or maximize their lives in a way to fit the other person's world. They kind of just accept each other for who they are, and they created a world for themselves where they are. Guys, absolutely loved it. Charlie is like the sweetest of the sweetest, and Nora is such a badass. It's just like, I love them so much. I hope they are having a great day wherever they are. My second one are my 2 favorite messy. These 2 are so messy, but I love them. It's Alem and Faye from You Made a Fool of Death with Your Booty by Akwaeke Emezi. Listen, I loved everything about these 2, and I felt like they deserved each other. Like, their relationship, it kind of felt like holding your breath, being underwater and holding your breath for a very, very long time, and then here comes this person and you finally get to breathe. It just felt like that. Reading the book, I was rooting for them throughout, and I'm so happy with the ending that they got. Like, I really feel like they deserved each other. I love them. They were very messy and they're very flawed, and how they went about things, it wasn't really in a perfect world. It was very realistic, because when you're in those type of situations, you will get things wrong because you don't know which way you need to, you know, walk. Like, I can talk about this book forever, and I can talk about these two like forever, and the chemistry that they have, it was very hot. The tension that they have, it was very, very hot. I understand why sometimes they couldn't hold themselves. Like, it was valid. Last but definitely not least is Shane and Eva from 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I love these two so much. These two dorks were writing about each other. They knew each other when they were kids, and they meet after like 15 years of not seeing each other. It's just that love that you don't need to pretend to be anything but who you are. Like, someone just loves your past, your present, your future. It's just they love you. Shane and Eva's love was just inevitable, you know. There's this thing that Shane said to Eva: no matter what path I take, no matter what route you take, we will always find each other one way or another. I don't know, man. That kind of love, I want it. Love them so much. An honorable mention, I have to, because honestly, I would be a fool if I don't mention them. Kiki and Malachi. I'm sorry, I wish I would have read this when I was, I don't know, like in matric. I would have loved to read something like this when I was like still in high school. And still in varsity. There's so much like YOLO culture in university that sometimes it's rare to actually find things where it's just like, you know, we met when we were in varsity, when we were in college. Yeah, anyways, Kiki and Malika are my favorites. I love them so much. There's nothing like black love being shown in such a beautiful, positive light. Anyways, that is all for this book tag. I really do hope that you guys did enjoy watching this video. If you are a booktuber and you want to do this tag, feel free to do so. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell to get notified every single time I'm gonna post a video. Until next time, sugars, thank you so much for watching. Bye.